indicate that he is not allowed to be uncomfortable with the amount of money that he spends.
I honestly, it's just a lot of words with no substance. I mean, and Tom Caron, by the way, you ever want to see the greatest way to adequately show people just what's happened with the Red Sox? I don't know if you guys saw it, but Tom Caron was covering the Penguins this week for Sportsnet Pittsburgh.
No, I didn't see that.
On social media, you could see Tom Caron, nothing personal to him.
Yeah.
He's doing money,
He's
getting
great.
paid. He's a great guy, all of that. But that's what we're doing here. We're streamlining Nesson into a Pittsburgh Penguins operation while saying we don't have the money to pay for players because we spent $800 million to buy a hockey team. And what Craig Breslow's doing, I'm sure if it were up to him, he would sign these guys.
Right.
He's just doing the bidding of an ownership group that wants to be not transparent with their fan base.
But he doesn't want to. But he doesn't want to sign Bregman, right? Cora and Kennedy
Sam
both
Kennedy
wanted him,
do.
but he allegedly is the one that, and this is all reports, doesn't want to spend the money.
Right, and Robert Kraft wanted to sign everybody. It was Bill who didn't, and you guys don't buy that, right?
And for so long, they made it seem like it was Chaim Bloom who, though, didn't want to sign guys, was all about analytics and didn't want to spend too much money. And then they go and get Craig Breslow, who seems to be doing the same exact thing. So at a certain point, you need to stop looking at the people that they're hiring and who is the actual hirers.
I'm interested in the diehards because, like that text that came in during the break, 617 text, partial season ticket holder, and our payments and renewals were due right as they were going after Soto. It was hard to pay that, but there was a hope that things would be different, and now I'm angry. And then the other text that 603 text from New Hampshire. It looks bleak. As a diehard Sox fan, I am losing faith.
Well, that's your homeboy, Baseball Brett. He's a diehard. Where does he stand?
He didn't want them to spend that much on Juan Soto, though.
No, he didn't want that, but
Right.
I'm sure he's pissed that they have done nothing, and that you're running out of time, and you're running out of available legit players who make a difference for your franchise.
And you know what people have been reporting, Greg, is that teams have been using the Red Sox statements about how they were going to spend against them after they lost out on Juan Soto. So because they've been so horned up to get ahead of a good signing by telling the fans they're going to make one because of the low ticket sales, they now are putting themselves at a competitive disadvantage because teams know they have the stack of cash that they're trying to spend, but they don't want to overspend, which means the guys that they want are going elsewhere.
They have to sign two of the remaining top free agents. They have to sign, whether it's
Wouldn't you want the best players first?
No, but you missed out on Soto. So let's say Soto's the best
and Evaldi, a guy that pitched great here, would have been a good signing.
But in the diehard baseball world, the best bat was Soto. You missed out on him. The best pitcher is Burns.
But they're not. You just heard a report from the MLB Network that they're not going to pay for Burns.
Well, that's my point. If they don't, then anybody who...
And do you really think, based on what you're going to now have to give up for Garrett Crochet, they're going to be willing to part with all those assets?
No, and they said they would.
No,
and Greg, in your experience, your vast, legendary Hall of Fame career, when people tell you about what they're going to do, they rarely do it.
No, they just do it. They let the action do the talking.
Right. When the Red Sox were first purchased by John Henry, Lucchino, and Warner, they just went to win. We didn't question it. We may have said, oh, why'd you sign X and not Y? But there was nobody yelling that they weren't spending. Now, all they're doing is telling everybody with a microphone how aggressive they're going to be while losing out on the best players.
But I think this time they run the risk of alienating everybody, Curtis.
Yeah. Greg,
like,
they already have.
No, they haven't.
There are some people that were hanging on.
Look at the TV ratings.
I know, but look at some of the diehards, like the legit diehards who've been there for a while. They've been hanging on, waiting for something.
Baseball Brett's a perfect
Isn't
example.
Curtis kind of a
Yes.
diehard though?
I grew up. I love the Red
I don't
Sox.
know.
Really.
On this, I look at Curtis, and I think that Curtis has been a fan of the Red Sox for quite some time.
Longer than any team.
Ken's a bigger diehard.
Okay.
Ken thinks they're still gonna.
Yeah.
He thinks they're gonna go get burned.
But I think
Curtis knows a lot about the Red Sox.
But I think being a diehard doesn't mean that you give them your loyalty no matter what.
Right.
I think being a diehard means it bothers you when the team doesn't do what they should be doing. And the only way that this ownership group turns it around is if they put a great team on the field. Sam always says it. He goes, in 2021, nobody was saying we were interested in other places, and he's right. So that can't be the exception to the rule, though.
No, but you'll lose the Baseball Bretts. You'll lose those guys if you don't get some of these top available free agents that are left out there. And if you're not paying them, if you're just running it back with the same old cast of characters.
This is Paul from Plymouth. What's up, Paul?
Hey, guys, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Happy holidays.
Yeah, you too.
Good, thanks. Yeah, so listen, I just wanted to weigh in real quick. You know, I talk about this all the time with my buds. And, you know, I understand what you're saying. The Henry Sports Group is probably overextended. I get it. But let's be mindful that this ownership delivered 4 World Series in the last 20 years, something that had not happened prior in a very, very long time. So, you know, it's very competitive out there. There's lots of money being spent. And, I mean, I know they need to spend some money here, too. I mean, I said on my Facebook feed last night, you know, when are they going to do something? And I share your sentiment, but I do remind myself, you know, 4 World Series in 20 years. I don't think there's another team in Major League Baseball that's done that. And I could be wrong because I'm not a stats guy.
How long are you willing to wait for them to be competitive then?
Oh, I think they're close. I think they got a great young nucleus of players. But I think they do need to do some of these things, like sign, you know, Soto, or, you know, this guy, the Fried guy that the Yankees just signed, or Bregman. They definitely need to bring some serious talent to the table to cross the line. Yeah. And I think that's why Cora stayed, and I think this is what they need to do. But, you know, back to what the points you guys are making, you know, they definitely got to do something. Because I want another World Series in another 5 years, right? Yeah.
Oh, another 5 years. Why rush? I mean, they've won 4. You know what the Red Sox
that's
are?
What they'll give you, though. I think there's still fans out there that believe that.
A topical, not topical, a timely movie reference for you, Greg?
Yes.
The Red Sox and Sam Kennedy are Clark Griswold in the roundabout trying to go Big Ben Parliament. They're just looping. They're doing nothing. They are stuck. They are terrified of spending money. They're terrified of the fans' reactions, so they're stuck in this position where they're the interest kings.
Because we did it with Bill.
Is the easiest thing to do in Hollywood to write a script for a Hallmark Channel Christmas film? They are all the exact same movie.
Yeah. Oh,
it's the exact same thing where there's two people who used to love each other and they don't love each other anymore, or they still love each other, they're not together, and then all of a sudden there's some weird person that you know is like an angel that is sent from Santa Claus, and the angel interferes and gets them back together, and then like that's every single one of those films.
And it's beautiful.
That is it.
But there's 100 of them.
I know there are.
Oh, they're everywhere.
They introduce 50 new ones every year, and no disrespect, but you and your ilk sit down and eat them up, bawling your eyes out. It's the same movie every single time.
There's a new Netflix one that just dropped, and it's about a girl who goes to London to visit her sister, and her sister's getting engaged, and the fiance's brother is a professional footballer, and she doesn't know that he's famous, and they fall in love.
They just changed the city where it happens. It's the same movie every single time.
I mean, to be fair, I've been in the mornings on EEI for 12 years. Brady and Bill, pretty constant. I mean, I can't rip reruns or similar storylines.
I mean, they're on BET too, where you know the only difference there is somebody's usually singing by the end of it, you know, singing their favorite Christmas tunes, and you know, I haven't seen so and so forever, and or maybe you know what, we don't love each other no more, and all of a sudden,
and then the angel person who brought them together disappears suddenly, and everybody realizes he or she was an angel. And it's like don't get me wrong, I love the season.
Right.
But
I mean, who could forget Emily in Paris? That was a wonder.